Hi, everybody. Welcome to This Week in Monday Mentoring. Today, we have a lot of, hi there. Welcome to This Week in Monday Mentoring. We actually have a lot going on this week. So let me give you the overview. Tomorrow, we have three sessions. I'm facilitating all of them. And the first one is a new supplement series. This is a new session type for Monday Mentoring. We've never done them before. They're by request. People over the last couple of years have had lots of questions about supplements. So I thought, why don't we just experiment with having a few of these supplement sessions just to see if they're useful and if people like them and so forth. So this one this week is going to be about methylated B vitamins, in particular, really going to be focusing on folic acid with a little bit of B12 thrown in there for good measure. And we're just going to be going over some of the questions people commonly have about these, like does it make a difference if you have one of the MTHFR variants? And is it better to use methylated Bs versus regular, methylfolate versus folic acid? Does that make a difference? Who should use which? What are the safety issues to think about? That sort of thing. So it's just an hour. It's going to be at the noon session. It will be recorded. As a heads up, these supplement sessions are going to have CEUs, the quiz and the CEU, kind of like the deep dive does. So if you care about that, we are going to put those quizzes and everything in the webinar library because there's not a whole course for it. It's a whole, anyway, I won't get into the details of why there isn't, but so anyway, I'll direct you to that later, but in case you're looking for it, that's where it's going to live. It's going to have its own little section in the webinar library, which you can access under my courses. Okay, so I'm excited about that. I'm knee deep in methylfolate research right now, and of course I have my own opinions. But anyway, I'm excited about how that class is shaping up. Then at 5 p.m., we're going to have a roundtable with a focus on nutrition. So if you have any cases, you can bring those to roundtable. And then at 7 is practice management, again with me. Um, as some of you know, I'm having themes with my practice managements this year, which, if people have other questions that are not related to the theme, that's totally fine. But if we don't have a lot to talk about, I thought maybe we could speak a little bit about the welcome email when somebody signs up for your newsletter. Just have a look at that and what goes there, and should you have one, should you not have one, all that kind of stuff. So bring questions about that, or have a look at yours and just see, is it something you want to revise? Um, or if you have any other questions related to practice management, of course, you can bring them. Okay, so that's all happening. Also, I want to point your attention to the community because there's a bunch of interesting questions and things there now. Alex is requesting Monday Mentoring members who do custom formulations if anybody would be willing to test out First Curve's new custom formulating options and give them some feedback. There's a 20% discount with that. So go check that out in the community and some interesting clinical questions, that sort of thing. So have a look over there if you haven't recently. Also, there's a bunch of things happening in March. They kind of snuck up on me. I felt like, oh, it's still feels like early February to me, but actually it's almost March. So first of all, if you want to hang out with me basically every Thursday in March at noon Eastern time, there's a at the 6th, we're having a workshop on how you describe what you do. This is basically like your elevator pitch or your when somebody asks you at a potluck, what do you do? What do you say? So it's really just like one sentence, but it's really hard. So we're going to talk about that in this workshop. I will be promoting it for other people, but it's free for Monday Mentoring members. So if you want to come, the RSVP link is down below this. So that's Thursday the 6th at noon. Then on the 13th, the next Thursday at noon, we're having our spring dreaming and planning workshop, also free. It's only 30 minutes. It's really about setting an intention for the spring and really evaluating your practice over these past few months and what you want to work on, what you don't want to work on, that sort of thing. So if you want to come to that, RSVP link is below. And then the next Thursday after that is our March Q&A, also free, noon to 1. Bring any questions. It's straight Q&A format, unlike Monday Mentoring, where it's more of a group discussion. So love to have you at any of those. And of course, co-working continues to happen. I am going to be running the Grow course, which is all about how to find new clients. That's going to start at the very end of March. It will be a Monday Mentoring discount, so stay tuned for that if you're interested in joining it. And I think those are the main announcements for right now. So busy day tomorrow. I'm excited to see some of you there. For this week's behind the scenes, I thought I'd share some reflections on the format of the free workshops that I do. Some of you have, this is probably how some of you found, kind of came to be in my orbit. But over the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, maybe more than that, I've been doing workshops. My main strategy for getting to know people who I don't already know has been occasionally, probably once a quarter, once a season, offering a workshop that's free if you share it, or $25 if you don't share it, something like that. And I'm pretty loosey goosey with the sharing. Like you could share it, you can invite a friend, you could share it on social, you could share it in your newsletter, whatever it is. So I've been doing that, and that's been working quite well, especially since I'm not really on social media. That's been a big way for me to find new people and kind of share more about what I'm doing. And in the last, I don't know, 6 months, maybe a year, it's really not been working very well. So that's been interesting to me. And I don't know if it's just because people are saying they're sharing and they're not sharing. I don't really check. I don't have, there's not like a verification process. Um, or if it's just because the people who are in my orbit are sharing with people who already know about me or whatever. Um, but I've just noticed it used to be that I would have tons of new subscribers to my mailing list and so forth every time I did this. And now it's not tons. It's like 10 or 20 people will join my emailing list, which is great. And I'm like, I don't know if that's really working for me right now. So I'm doing this one. When is it? The 6th. It's the same format where it's like, free or $25. I'm going to be trying that kind of one more time. And if I see the same results this time, I think what I'm going to do is switch to a different model, which is a similar model to what I'm using for the supplement series, which is like free for Monday mentoring people, of course. But if other people want to come, I'm having a super big sliding scale of like $5 up to $25 and just letting people choose where they want to be. So I'm thinking that that might be a little bit better. And if you're thinking like, Camille, I don't know if that's really going to spread it. I'm hoping that if they'll be useful enough that and affordable enough that people will be like, oh, you could come to this for $5 if you wanted to and maybe share it with other people. So that's my next strategy, to just kind of think about how I can share my work and find more people who are interested in the types of things I'm doing. So anyway, that's my little behind the scenes peek. And if you have any questions, bring them to Praxis Management. We can talk about it. Otherwise, have a great rest of your weekend. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow, and y'all know how to get me if you need anything in the meantime. All right, take care.